Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Last night I was able to check out the Shield reunion episode of Table for Three. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose sat down for a meal. And honestly, I can tell you that this episode was very short in my mind. These, I thought, had run normally about 30 minutes. This one was only at 18 minutes. To me, honestly, felt like it was really short. The Shield actually sat down at the table. They enjoyed a glass of water. And then they were brought another drink near the end of the episode, which I would guess was some kind of alcohol, but I'm not 100% sure it was. It didn't look like beer because it didn't have much carbonation in it. But I'm not quite sure what it was. But Dean Ambrose made reference to it that he was in good presence because his friends knew what to order for him. It looked like all three of them got the same drink. I don't know if Dean Ambrose stepped away from the table for a moment, but I had a feeling that maybe this Shield reunion was filmed before the actual Shield reunion on Monday Night Raw. I could definitely tell that I think they were in a place where all three guys were baby faces. This might have been done around WrestleMania time, but it didn't seem like in any part of the near future that the Shield would be coming back together. I thought that honestly this was them sort of sitting back and sort of tipping their cap at each other at basically being able to, you know, have their breakup, all three of them go out on their own, and not really have a Marty Jannetty of the group. If you think of it, I mean, like the accomplishments that they have achieved since the Shield broke up. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose both won the Money in the Bank. All three guys have won the highest championships in the company. Dean Ambrose being the WWE champion. Rollins and Reigns both being the WWE Universal champion, I guess you can say, for the Monday Night Raw brand. You know, all three of these guys were top draft picks for the Raw and SmackDown draft. Roman Reigns has won the United States Championship. Dean Ambrose has won the Intercontinental Championship. We've had Ambrose and Rollins go on from then and win the tag team titles. So these guys have held it down and basically been the rocks of the card. Roman Reigns makes reference at one point of basically, you know, there was people in WWE saying that the people in this locker room needed to step up and they needed leaders. And these guys definitely have been the leaders of the group. As far as, like, you know, I guess you can say money makers for the company, I don't think that Dean Ambrose lives up to as high as Rollins and Reigns has. I mean, the biggest thing that Ambrose has done is he was the champion during the brand splits. He ended up being the champion of SmackDown when they sort of ended up going live. I don't think that he was as good of champion as, you know, AJ Styles was for that brand, to bring people over to SmackDown and check out what is going on. I think that SmackDown definitely was looked at as sort of a better show when they first did the Raw SmackDown brand split with the draft talent exchange deal. As they had the better show because they had more better, you know, wrestling on the show than Monday Night Raw did. But I don't think it was until AJ won the title at Backlash from Dean that, you know, things really started kicking off. But then I guess, you know, Dean at the same time was the #1 contender for that championship until he was a part of Survivor Series. He was the main event of the TLC show. So he's still a big part of everything that's going on over there. I was really surprised that they didn't talk about the Money in the Bank show, which ended up all three guys having the championship on the same day. Roman coming in as the champion, being beat by Seth, and then cashed in on by Dean Ambrose, who had the Money in the Bank at the time. Which was a sort of a tip of the cap to the Shield. Everyone had sort of, you know, been clamoring to see these guys together. I mean, people have been wanting to have the Shield three-way that went down. I think at I think the show that ended up happening at was Battleground. I think is where that show actually happened after Money in the Bank. Fun stuff. I mean, the show was only 18 minutes, so you can't be expecting the world out of it. You know, I'm sure that there will be you know, we've got the, there's just a, well, they got the Shield documentary, which is sort of just redoing the whole Shield's trip to SummerSlam, when it was going to be Ambrose against Rollins, and it was going to be Roman against Randy Orton after the breakup of the Shield. The destruction of the Shield, I think, is what that was called. Seth has his own DVD. I don't think they've done one on Roman yet, but it's got to be coming sooner than later. And Dean's got to be somewhere waiting in the wings after that. I don't think it's the highest thing for them to put out a thing. But, I mean, look at what they're doing on the network now. I mean, like the Medusa documentary came out. She didn't get her own DVD release, but it is something cool just for to have on the network. You got to check that out sooner than later. But I honestly give this 4 out of 5 stars on the sit-down. It honestly wasn't long enough. And I don't think they talked about as much as I wanted them to talk about. But it was still cool to see them sitting together.